And then or let's say when you win a world title, um, you obviously plan on bringing it back to South Africa for your friends, your family, and everything. But do you think you would go back to the orphanage and just, do some sort of a motivational talk, or maybe just a day there just to show kids, I came from here, don't lose hope, or that kind of thing, and always reach for your dreams kind of thing?
Yes, that's definitely what I want to do. The fact that I always wanted to be the best in the world, and the path that I've walked with people in my life, saw what I was, what I want to achieve, and when I achieve that, I have to go back and let every other kid understand in the orphanage that it's actually possible. Anyone can do whatever they put their mind to,
Mm.
and doesn't matter how long it takes. Some people are lucky enough to take a day, to might take years, but it's actually possible. And not giving up on your dream. There's so many things in life that can throw you off your dream. Sometimes you get off it, but you have to find a way back.
Mm.
And a few times in my life that has happened, and I'm grateful enough to be still on that path of becoming a world champion.
Mm.
And not just the kids in the orphanage. I just wanna. There's a big change that has happened in South Africa, that even though our government and political side is kind of making it hard for South Africans to live, it feels like we've become more closer. We're starting to see less color and becoming more as one, which is
Mm.
amazing. So I wanna motivate, or I wanna be able to encourage that this generation of South Africans to understand that it's possible.
Mm.
Like, it doesn't matter what background you have. It's possible to become whatever you put your mind to, which
Mm.
is quite nice.
Yeah, and I think you'd be the perfect example for something like that.
Yeah.
Most definitely. And I think also if one ever has plans of coming to Africa, we've had that UFC coming to Africa discussion as well, and South Africa is the only place that it realistically can come to that has everything. And if they're looking for an ambassador, you're gonna be front
I'll,
and
I'll,
center for that.
I'll be always ready for that, and I'd love to be. I'd love to be the first guy to say, the first guy in one to say, hey, I'm the first African fighter to become a world champion, or I'm a first African world champion in one
Mm.
championship. And come to Africa, make an event in Africa,
Mm.
see how much talent we actually have here, and sign more Africans. And must sign it because of the work I've done, or the part that I've played, or the
Mm.
role that I've played. And hopefully that happens one day.
Yeah, I'm sure it's only an inevitability. I know one has some plans to go to the US probably first, but I don't see why they couldn't do US and Africa at the same time. But maybe after the UFC's here and they see how successful it is, and the people actually come here and, like you say, see how many talented people we have here in the MMA space
Yeah.
and jiu-jitsu, because one does jiu-jitsu and
Jiu-jitsu,
Muay Thai and everything.
yes,
It's,
yeah, it's
you
it's
know,
amazing. So it's actually, this is a great opportunity. I always say I'm only a speck of dust of what talent there is here in Africa.
mm,
Some people are like, "Oh, you're so talented in Asia." I'm like, you should see the rest of the guys here.
yeah,
Sometimes you get hit and you're like, you should have seen the other guy. This time they're like, yo, you're so good. I'm like, you must see the other guys.
yeah.
Like, there's so much talent here, and I think I'm grateful enough to be like that ambassador, to be like, wow, you're African, you fight out of Africa.
Mm.
Wow, how can you fight so good? Geez, you must see the guys here. And it's just getting better. Like, give it a few more years and watch how Africa's gonna take over the MMA
Mm.
industry.
I think everybody just needs a guided path of, to say, if you've got people, we've seen it with boxing
Yeah,
in the combat sports world. We see it with some African football teams. We see it with rugby in South Africa. Um, there's a guided path and there's a set from start to finish. This is how you go from being whatever age, 8 years old, 7 years old, whenever you start going all the way through.
yeah,
to turning professional. So once that happens, like Cameron and Dricus are doing a lot of that with Little Legends. Then there's also the amateur events. They've got Versus. Don's also got amateur events. So the more that keeps happening, eventually people are going to see. And then when they look back, like we look back on Hoist Gracie and the guys that started with the UFC, it's going to be you, Don, and everybody else, Dricus and Cameron, and even the people that there's still a host of fighters before them as well. So I'm really, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, the idea is to grow MMA, to grow mixed martial arts as much as we can. And like you said, Simon and Dricus are doing a good job in Pretoria, and now we've got Richie also expanding the school in Joburg, and we've got Don here, Don and Matt. They've also now starting to make fighting organizations or promotions, which is quite cool. That's the idea. We wanna keep growing the sport as much as we can, and we wanna look forward into bringing as much fighters as we can into mixed martial arts, because we believe Africans, this is where we shine, you know. Geez, we all have the right genes for fighting, you know, with the food we eat and everything, you know. And this is the perfect
centuries
time for
of
us.
conflict.
Yes, exactly. So this is the perfect time for us to actually stand out, and mixed martial arts is one of those platforms for Africans to really shine. And like, geez, I'm really excited for the next coming years for African MMA.
Sleeping giant.
Yeah, they're waking up the sleeping giants.
Yeah. Hey guys, if you enjoyed that clip, I've got another one for you over here and over here. Please don't forget to subscribe over here and have a look at my other socials down in the description box below. Thanks for watching.